Leo, hello and welcome or welcome back. We're going to get into a full reading, which means we use the Lenormand, the tarot, and then we will wipe the board clean and get into Oracle and animals. This is also what a personal reading will look like with me. So if you're interested in that, check out that description box, okay? All right, we ended up with the perfect amount of cards, even though they wanted to jump on us. Interesting. Okay, so we've got the clouds here. So typically in the Lenormand, this means that, the chaos and everything is on one side and the light is sort of coming in, clearing away those clouds. Okay, but we see that whatever this was, it was quite large, right? We've got these little bit of light here coming through with the lightning. And so this could be like a slow process of something getting cleared out, okay? Whatever this was, it felt like deterioration. Okay, we've got the mice here, and they will eat little tiny crumbs, but they're also going to be tearing away at structures. Okay, they're slowly chipping away at things, and eventually you will end up with a pile of sawdust, and they go the other way, and they will do the same somewhere else. So, some sort of pesky energy here. And right in the center, we have the anchor. So, this pesky energy has been somewhat holding you back here, holding you down, keeping you from going forward. So, yes, we feel as though we might have the lock, but we don't have the key. Something like this, where we have this sort of hole in our chest in some way, shape, or form. We don't have the answers yet. Something about like waiting for things to unfold. And we have a house. So this could be at home. This could have to do with a family dynamic, relationship dynamic. Let's get into the tarot and see what the tarot has to say about this. So firstly, bottom of the deck here, we have the bear. And the bear is about protection, protecting yourself. So we see the bear here in front of this gate. So whatever this is that you could be building and don't just quite have the answers for yet, whatever it is that we're trying to get to, we are protecting with everything we've got. Okay, let's see here what the tarot has to say. What do I want? Let's get this one here for starters. Don't forget to like the video as well. We are a small growing community here. So please like the video, comment if you feel called to, and subscribe if you like the way that I read. Let's see what the tarot has to say about these clouds. What is it that is in our way here? What is the story for my Leos? Okay, King of Wands. All right. So this could be some sort of relationship dynamic here. Let's see what this King of Wands is. The King of Wands can definitely be a bit destructive, right? He represents passion, creativity, spontaneity, but also acting on impulse and being impulsively energetic, let's say. Okay, I'm also called to this similarity here. We have the flames, the chaos down here, and then we have this like halo of little bits of light in just the corner. You see that? So this could also be you, right? Like you are attempting to get one foot in front of the other when it comes to this sort of volcano of energy that you have bottled up, and all of this energy is piling up and shaking like a volcano, and the light that we need, the clarity that we need is just on the brink here. So could definitely be feeling like we're on the brink of something big. Mm-hmm. But we're still feeling held back by something or someone. With the mice here, yes, that's whatever it was that was holding us back. It took precedence over growth. Okay, with the anchor here, we have a victory. So this could definitely be some sort of like divine intervention to ensure that you are on the path that's going to lead to the best outcome for you. Okay, so this anchor, this could have been some sort of deterioration on your path in order to, again, await for some sort of divine timing. But the way that we see it is it's very painful, very hurtful, whatever this situation was, perhaps with another person with that Three of Swords. Okay. So interesting dynamic. We'll get a little farther into that to see what Spirit had to say about that Six of Wands victory. Okay, so going back to this keyhole here, what is it that we're looking for answers on? The Death card. We could be asking questions like, okay, well, why did this have to come to an end? Why did it have to end up this way? What I'm feeling with this, which is interesting with it being the Death card, I'm actually feeling like this is not over. Okay, like this was a pause, or again, like a redirecting. Okay, so about this house, we have the Hierophant. Yeah, I'm getting strongly that you were pushed off of one path and onto another. Okay, with that little white bird, see how tiny the light is there. But we were deterred, I think, from a love connection here. Princess of Cups, we were on a path with someone in order to make this sort of structure happen. With the Four of Wands, it takes 4 posts to make a structure. Yeah, we have this star here that I have to cover, and then the Ace of Cups. So we tried to put our energy out towards somebody. Okay, we tried to build something grandiose with another person perhaps, and it just didn't quite work despite our efforts, is what I'm hearing. Page of Swords, we could have been very communicative with this person, right? And we just felt like we were giving and giving and giving, and it just simply didn't work. I mean, there's something about like the effort just didn't go. Okay, the result did not match the effort. We'll put it that way. Ten of Cups. I think this was your hope and your goal was to have a family dynamic with somebody. Again, perhaps a King of Wands here. All right, what happened? The Strength card. We had to get out. We had to move along, keep it pushing. Again, I feel that we had to change direction here. Could have been that we were like working towards something with someone, but it just felt as though the energy was misconstrued or discombobulated because the other person, when it came to them putting in their part of things, it came through fiery and upsetting. So, like, I have a family member that's like this when they get really concerned they get very upset. Okay, so say my child falls off a bicycle, and this family member will be like, "Oh my gosh, what's wrong with that bike? We need to throw it in the trash. Oh my gosh, what's going on with this? Oh my gosh." Like it sounds from the outside looking in like they're saying, who is at fault? Or why would this happen? Or how could this have been prevented? But the reality is that's just how they show that they care. Okay. And you, on the other hand, have a very different approach. You are the Queen of Cups. You are bright and light and nurturing and caring. And that's what's going to get you through here. Okay. So even in this time of pause, perhaps with this relationship, you still understand that, you don't have to be forthcoming and mean and rude in order to get your point across here. Yeah, Six of Cups is about memories. Okay. We've got the Emperor at the bottom. So the Emperor with the King of Wands, this could be the person that you're focused on at this point. We've got the Three of Pentacles again. So it's kind of like we were making memories, riding bikes. We were riding bikes outside. And this person is like, "Oh, we better bring the carry," right? I've never noticed that there's a pew pew here. Never noticed that. But it's like we need to bring that in order to protect. We need to be on guard at all times so that we can have this. I was going to say this. Words are failing me. We can protect the innocence, is what I was getting. But it's like protect the memories. But you're over here like, why are you bringing a pew pew to the barbecue? We're just trying to ride bikes with the training wheels. So it's like this person's energy was all weird. And again, I've never noticed that that's on that card. So I feel that you needed to put a stop to this connection because it was just stressful. You're like, okay, I'm just trying to enjoy the day. I'm just having a fun time at the park. And they're like, no, look at this, look at that, look at this. Like, identifying dangers almost. But to you, it felt like there was a hole in your heart because it's like, why can't we just enjoy the day? Okay. So I do believe that you were put into a position here to put your boundaries up and get busy on other things. Here's Queen of Swords here, Page of Cups. Yeah. So you evolved here to from, okay, let's have a good time. Let's all just be nurturing to, okay, talk to the hand in a sense. And then now it's like, don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm busy. Okay, so this is kind of an interesting yours and theirs that it's turning into, sort of like interesting mirror dynamic here. Let's keep going and see what else we have. I'm seeing the Three of Cups and the Ace of Wands. So again, some sort of family dynamic, friend group, something like that. And we can also look at this two ways, right? Like you are looking to build some sort of an empire here, Ten of Cups, and it's just sort of being like you're still moving, but the anchor is just dragging along the bottom of the ocean and it's just going slow here. So we do have the Ace of Pentacles. Um, I do feel as though you're still going to be pushing forward towards this. That's like an opportunity straight from the divine. And also, the other way to look at it is if you were trapped in some sort of a marriage or some sort of a family dynamic and you broke away from that, you have this beautiful opportunity here to make something very beautiful happen. Three of Cups came right back out here. Yeah, and so you're not meant to do this alone, okay? Keep your friends close, especially going through a position of like trying to strong arm your way out of something. Um, if that is the case, okay, keep your friends close here. Queen of Pentacles. Wow. So we have Queen of Cups and Queen of Pentacles with the anchor and the victory in between them. So I do feel that this is you. You, again, are going from heart open, heart centered, always giving, to then realizing, okay, I need to cut this anchor off. And so I had to become sort of like a Queen of Swords energy in order to get rid of this anchor. And once you did that and cut that anchor, you now have this victory where you get to be the Queen of Pentacles, which is a sovereign, um, in control queen. Okay. So we are still in the energy of the threes, which again is like getting something off the ground, but it's just like one step in front of the other, and it just doesn't quite feel fruitful yet. It doesn't feel like the ships have gotten here yet, right? We see the ship, it's on its way in, but she's not on it. Okay. So the plans are there. We've made the plan, we've packed the bags, and now we wait, which is a very frustrating energy to be in. But it's almost like, the hope is there, but it's more than that. We've made the plan, we've packed the bags, we're going on this adventure, and we're leaving this behind here. So yes, because justice. So we're busy, we're making the plan, perhaps buying some sort of a home or there's part of this dynamic that it's like we're taking with us, okay? You could have children and it's like you're getting the relationship part set aside so that you can raise the kids alone, something like this. And it's interesting, we have the Emperor here, and the bottom of the deck here we have the Empress. And I think this goes to show like you know your worth and you know what you are destined for. And look at that. The Death card here and the Ten of Wands, which is burdens and what we carry with us. Yeah. Yeah. So there could be a part of you that feels like, oh, I wish that there was parts of this relationship I could take with me, but Spirit says, okay, well, it's going to be the lessons because both of these are very light energies and this is a very heavy energy, right? So when we see the Death card and then all of this light energy, we want justice to be served. And what that means is, we are not going to take with us this disappointment and loss. Five of Pentacles, not enough to go around, door slammed in our face. We want this energy here, which is that Six of Wands, and it's what we can accomplish when we sort of let this stuff go. So under the Death card, because I'm curious of what we're letting go of here, the Hermit, King of Pentacles, the Emperor. Wow. Okay. Um, Interesting. Okay, so here's our story. We're letting go because we understand at the end of the day we have to look within to find our answers here. This King of Pentacles, King of Wands, Emperor was a very, very big character in our life here, okay? We thought that they were our one and only, and we had to run away here to go towards our star, and that's where we set our compass to while we're on our ship. Okay, so it's like the star was aligning us this way, and this person was sort of pulling us this other way that felt like an anchor here. And intuitively, we knew that we had to sort of let this go in order to get to our star, our North Star, where it is we're headed. hmm So it's been a slow moving process because we didn't want to let this person go, which is understandable. Let's get another deck here for clarifying, and we'll move on to Oracle. Okay, what do we have for Leo? Four of Wands again. Yeah, it's like these tattoos are permanent, right? And that's where it takes four posts to make a structure. That's where that came from, and we've seen that already. We see the King of Pentacles, which we've seen already, and another tattoo on the split. Right, so we get to decide what it is that we keep with us and make permanent, okay? The Four of Wands, the structure, the beauty of it, the Ten of Swords is the feeling of defeat. Which are we going to make permanent here? That's what Spirit wants you to focus on. We want you focused on your goals and this North Star and where it is you're going, not so much what you thought was going to happen with this person, okay? So it's almost like hope is viewed a little bit different now, okay? Because of this King of Pentacles, they could have definitely had more control over the money here. We have the bull here, which is Taurus. If that is relevant, we could watch Taurus reading. But yeah, this is somebody who is very hyper focused on just one thing, and it was sort of the money, and or this training wheels fell off, and oh, we need to now go burn the bicycle, right? Instead of like learning from the mistake and just getting back on the horse. Okay, there was something about this person that was not capable of just getting back on the horse um, and just enjoying the day. Okay, something like that. I don't know why on this channel we're really hyper focused on X's, but I think what that is because of the anchor aspect, right? And like deciding what part of this are we going to carry with us? What part of this are we going to let go of? And what part of this is a lesson that we do want to bring with us to make us more powerful? Yeah, more powerful, right there with the strength. Look at that. It goes right here with the other strength card. So right as I was saying that, to make us more powerful, the strength card is here to decipher here what we're going to do with this energy that we've just learned about. Okay, there could have been some sort of deceit here. We do have Five of Swords. Um, what do we have to say about that? The Hermit. Yeah, you just sort of knew intuitively that something was going on here. Um, you decided to go within, and the Hermit is a very independent energy. They do things alone, they go about things alone. I think that you learned, there's that Five of Pentacles again. Yeah. Someone made you feel as though there was just not enough to go around, and felt like every turn that you took, there was some sort of door slammed in your face here. We see the Two of Pentacles again on the split with the Eight of Wands. Yeah, you're trying to get somewhere. Okay, you're like, I'm gonna get somewhere fast here. And this person is like very interested in what that could be. Okay. And I don't think that they need to know. The Ace of Pentacles just wanted to fly out as I tried to shuffle there, and it went sideways here on the Eight of Swords, which means that this is your bright new beginning, your goal, and where it is that you're headed, this opportunity from spirit, and it's being held back or held down by this feeling of this person making you feel as though there's not enough to go around. So now you have a mindset issue. Yeah. Yeah, there's a mindset issue around growth, around um, doing things the correct way, right? Because if, for example, with the training wheels broke and that person starts yelling at you about it, you're like, how is this my fault? What did I do wrong? Right? And so when it came time to take a new adventure, you were very confused about it, and the discombobulated energy was what took precedence. See, the arms are crossed, the energy is not flowing. They're writing with this hand, looking on this hand. It's like these things are crossed. It's like, nope, 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 nope. And it's like you're trying to make a plan, you're trying to get here, but we've got cross, cross, crossed, crossed. So at some point you just said, okay, screw this. I'm going to take my laptop, fold it up, put it here, and take out my keys and go somewhere where I can focus. That's what I'm getting. I'm going to screw this, ex-nay that, and we're going to go somewhere where we have the light, right? So you could be just in the process of this, like wiping the table clean and being like, you know what? I'm going to go somewhere else where I feel like I can focus on what it is that I am bringing in. Uh-huh. And there's that Queen of Cups, Two of Cups, and we're very indecisive about this because we thought this was our person. Um, And I know people probably don't really like these types of messages, so I do apologize that this is what's coming through, but I'm not sure what else to say except for what I'm getting. So, yeah, it's like reading the tea leaves. That's that hermit energy. You're like, I could see with my own two eyes what happens when I trust this, when I trust you. There's that lion, right, which we saw here, but it's also in the strength card. You get your own version of the lion, and it's not the same forthcoming type energy, right? So you have like the roses and the beauty, and this person just has like strength of will and always has their claws out. And you're like, I don't want to live with my claws out. Thank you very much. I would like to lay down the claws and be able to just share a good day. There's something about that, like, I'm just trying to have a good day, man. Yeah, so you had to throw away here. Yep. Intuitively, that's what you picked up. Even though it was a Ten of Cups situation, it left you feeling guarded and upset. Yeah, so here's our story again. You decided that you needed quiet in order to create what it is that you are creating. This person continuously made you feel as though you were in a stop and go type energy. You couldn't quite get it off the ground and get it done. Intuitively, you just looked up and knew that this is just simply not okay. This is not the vibe. I want this to be the vibe, but this is in my way here, which is very sad because that means also that this was in your way, the thing that you wanted. This here, Ten of Cups. Like, what do you mean a happy family dynamic that's all rainbows and butterflies is standing in my way? That was your vibe. You're like, there's no way that this family dynamic is the problem. But here we are. We've got the Nine of Swords, anxiety, sleepless nights, Nine of Wands, putting your guard up here, being the wounded warrior, and the Death card, being over it. Like, okay, when you look at it like this absolutely is energy you do not want, and we want to get rid of. We didn't want to get rid of this part. We're going to get rid of this part. So now we're in this energy of wanting to fix people, fix someone. Yes, and you could have been in that position for a very long time, thinking, well, if they could just open up their mind and see the light and follow me where I'm going, which is to this beautiful new beginning. Look at that. Two aces, Ace of Wands, and oh, I guess that's a page. We've already seen the ace. Yeah, follow me to take action on this opportunity and see that the life that life is bright and beautiful and fortune can turn in our favor if we just allow ourselves to feel good, like Abraham Hicks, right? And this person was like, you're dumb, you're not smart. Okay. I don't know why, but this is that person that likes to talk down to you. We're getting back into this weird X energy that keeps coming up on this channel. But you see, we've got multiple different hands here, which is interesting. I've never noticed that these two are different. But we've got the lovers here and the Eight of Cups. We threw something away. We had to throw it away and walk the other direction, which again, unfortunately, also meant the Ten of Pentacles. The dog, the family, the friends, something like that. But yeah, that's the truth here. You had to go. The lovers, the Ace of Swords, which is the truth. And we have the Three of Wands, which we've seen already, being that I saw what happens when I trust you. I know now because I wrote it down. Okay, you could be like trying to convince yourself that you're not crazy, and you had to like pack your bag to go find the ship and order it in right there. So, interesting read. Let's see what Oracle has to say about this. That's where all this will kind of make sense, and we will go into the advice to what to do here. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and use this compass that you see here on the tablecloth. We're going to start with the center here. What Spirit would like you to be focused on at this time. We've got the past, lessons learned from recent events. And then we will have intuitive energy, what it is that your mindset is focused on, your goals, introspection here. Spirit team messages from above from your spirit team that's closest to you. And then we have future potential outcomes, what we have to look forward to. Okay, there. All right, bottom of the deck here, self-expression. Yeah, I think that there was some, I don't like to say work done, spell work wise, but something about the way somebody has talked to you has made you feel a certain way about your reflection. Okay, so could be a good time to, if you don't wear makeup, then don't, but this goes into makeup. Okay, so the story here is that, people would dress and present themselves as who they are to the tribe. Does that make sense? So you could be the wise one, you could be the warrior chief, you could be the chief's wife, you could be the maternal protector midwife, right? So it's like it doesn't have to be I am a warrior all the time. And with that strength card, Queen of Cups, I think that that kind of makes sense, right? Like you can be a different version of yourself if you need to in order to sort of get through the day. That keeps coming up, like to get through the day. So something there. Okay, so in the center here, empowerment. Yeah, just as I said, something about your reflection, something about how you see yourself would be a good time to sit in nature for a bit and just allow nature to sort of fill up your cup. Okay, empowerment. Now, what we've recently learned is, yeah, I mean, we need space, right? That's what we were getting with this deck here, where it's like, I need to, power up my bootstraps and go somewhere where the confusion dissipates for a bit so that I can breathe, right? So that I can get into my own energy here. And that's what we're doing exactly. So, highly recommend a little earth connection, hug a tree to get reconnected with yourself and your own energy. Or again, you're sort of like moving to a place to where that is your home space. Your home base should feel like a luxury, should feel like a breath out, not a deep breath in of like, oh, can I handle another day of this? Okay. Introspection and goals. Wow. There's that Six of Wands energy. Okay. So you're very focused on where you're going. Okay. So I don't want you to discredit yourself when it pertains to where you're headed and what you are manifesting. You're manifesting something that's going to be very fruitful. It's whatever that Ace of Pentacles was down here. Okay, Spirit says, remember to smile. Spirit is so funny this way, but this goes more into like the mindset that you already have, that Queen of Cups energy, right? Where it's like, if we can just focus on the sunshine, if we can just focus on the nurturing, beautiful aspects of the day, we will find more of those glimmers. Does that make sense? So remember, we began with the clouds, and the light was so small in the tiny corner. And now it's like it's our choice to step into the light. So I think that's what Spirit is saying here is like embrace that side of you that's just positive and wants to have a good day and do it for the kids, but also do it for yourself and step into this fruitful, it's like allowing yourself self-care and that time. Yeah, there's a part of you that's really stepping into something big here. That's what I'm getting with that. Okay, future outcome. Yeah, it's going to take, it's a power for you to step into this new stage. And in order to do that, you're going to have to get right with your own energy. Okay, this is kind of what I'm getting. This is also divine feminine energy here. Okay, with the moon, this was where all of the feminines would go during their moon time. So their time of the month. Okay, and it's this retreat where they would come together and put their ideas together. And they would get very divine downloads during this very sensitive time in the female body, right? So they were alleviated of all duties. They were known, it was known that they would be in there, close the door. They're doing their own thing. And what they're doing is collecting everybody's, it's like a big group think, okay? So this is something I think that's coming here. A spiritual retreat could be very beneficial for you, like literally a spiritual retreat where a lot of different, specifically female, you don't have to be female for it to resonate, but getting tapped in to that earth connection, that water connection, that flow, okay? And getting connected with your body as well. Okay, so bottom of the deck here, we have the Jaguar. Very powerful. I am a big fan. I have one tattooed on me. That's empowerment, if I ever heard of an empowerment card. Okay, this is also about the unknown, since they are black. I actually wish it said panther on there, not jaguar, because a panther is just a melanistic jaguar. So yes, the black aspect there is the unknown. It's a connection to the void. So in connecting with yourself, you connect with spirit, and in connection with nature, you connect to yourself. And then you realize that you are spirit in a human form. Okay. So what do we have in this past area here with sacred space? What have we learned about this? I feel like this is something you're actively doing at this time. Soul retrieval. Yeah. It's like you're gathering up the pieces of yourself, like what makes you you. You're picking up pieces here of what makes you you and makes you who you are. Yeah, like sort of learning to love yourself in a new way or love yourself again, period. Okay, but I'm getting like a new way, like you're finding out pieces of yourself. Okay, that makes sense. So like you're taking time for you to pick up the pieces and try to gather what's left of you. All right. And then as you're doing so, you realize, oh, I forgot all about this. Oh, I learned now that this is a power that I have. Like you're learning new parts of yourself as you go about that. Mm-hmm. Ooh, dang. And you're like pounding your victory drum as you do this. Look at that, the drum. And you see the face is tilted up here. Yeah, they're looking in the same direction. That white blob is the face looking up this way. That's your Ace of Pentacles right there. And you're like holding on to it. Like, I did it. I did this. I can do this. This is what you're thinking now. This is great energy. This is exactly right. And I feel like there's a part of you that feels like, okay, I had to go through hell. I had to put my foot down, Queen of Swords energy. But the drum is about rhythm, finding a rhythmic balance with that energy. We want you in this powerful, empowered vibe, but we want it to be in a soft, delicate way that works with the powers of nature. Does that make sense? So it's like doing it for uh Do it for the goals, not for revenge. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's go into this retreat here. What do we need to know about this retreat in the future? A standstill. Interesting. I just did a twin flame reading and this card ended up at the exact same spot. So that's interesting. Yeah, stand still in the retreat. Yeah, so that you can get in tune with your um, intuitive side, in tune with your intuition. That's really beautiful. I think that you are already very in tune, but again, it's like you're learning parts of you didn't know yet. It's like as you go about reading some cards, you also at the same time happen to stumble upon shadow work. You happen to stumble upon Akashic records. You happen to stumble upon astrology, human design, Reiki. It goes on, right? So like, huh, okay, we've been interrupted. Unmarked trail. Follow the wisps. Wow. Okay, so I feel that this drum and getting into this ritual and the habit of being sort of joyous all the time, right? Which isn't that. We don't want to portray that we need you to be positive all the time, but we do want you to look up. We want you to look up and see the victory and see how far you've come and see that you are doing it, okay? Because you have been feeling like you're on this unmarked trail. Nothing is marked. I don't know where I'm going. I'm in this labyrinth, right? And it's very confusing. Things are upside down. I don't quite understand it. But as you get into this idea of this retreat and this standstill, which none of us on the human plane want to do, okay, we want to go and go and go and go until we give out. But Spirit says, if you just rest a minute, I will show you with these breadcrumbs treasures hidden in the shadows. Okay, so this unmarked trail that feels very confusing, when we give it enough time to have us relax and tap into our intuition, Spirit is there and shows up for us. Okay. Where do these belong? Okay. So I'm going to set these here. They came out together. Okay. So what do we have to say then about the past here and this soul retrieval sacred space? What is the lesson that we have learned recently here? Two of them. Lost in space, needing direction. Yeah. So we could have definitely felt thrown off our path here. And we're picking up pieces. This is interesting. Oh, I just shoved that back in. Okay, that one's also going to go there. But here we go. Okay. What's interesting here is these are two different decks, two different vibes, but the face looking at the pentacle here, and now it's almost like we're hugging it, right? And I know this is planet Earth, but go with me. It's like we see the goal, we're going for the goal, we're doing the thing, and then there's almost like this melancholy energy of like, okay, I want it, I want to grab it, I want to do it, whether this is a business idea or whatever that is that you are going towards, right? And then you kind of are like losing your valor and dropping down energetically. So that, to be clear, is not rest, rejuvenation. That is the opposite. That's burnout. Okay, there's a difference here. Does that make sense? So what do we have to say about that burnout? The wailing tree, because we have pain. This is like solar plexus and root chakra work, okay? Because whatever this is that we are leaving or getting away from has done a number on our reflection. Okay. And it's been painful, but we're getting the pieces back. Okay. And we're learning the difference between rest and burnout. Okay. What do we have to say about this drum rising above? Oh my God. Wow. As I was saying, it's like when we take a moment, we can still be mid-flight. Okay, the eagles are very good at this, where they soar above everything and they have this eagle eye focus about them, right? The intentionality, and they can see like hundreds of yards and they could read a newspaper. Okay, crazy sight. And I mean, I just can't even put into words how well this makes sense to this. Okay, so here's what I'm getting. You're on this unmarked trail, and it's like you're looking down at the ground for wisps to follow the trail. Okay, but who said you needed to walk or sink or swim? We want you to like fly up and through these gaps here, get out of the labyrinth completely. You don't have to go this way. It's too freaking long. It's just going to frustrate you. Once you recognize that you're able to follow this light here and go above all of that and rest, you actually rest more when you're soaring in the clouds, okay? And that's where you get the most insight because you're closer to spirit. Does that make sense? I hope that made sense. This is an interesting read. I really like this actually. Okay, the crossing, interesting. So if you resonate with the twin flame journey, we just did 2 readings on the channel for General Collective. That was all about the bridge. Okay, so what I'm getting with that for you though is this initiation process. This is where you are right in this moment because we had empowerment here with Earth connection, and we're learning how to stay grounded and also keep our eyes on the prize and keep our vibe high. And that is the current goal. See that light there that you're going towards? It's hard to see if there's even a person here. I don't see the person, I see the shadow of a person. Does that make sense? We see the shadow of the person. That could be whoever you're dealing with, that could be you, because you're trying to focus on what parts of the scenario you're going to pick up and take with you, right? But the goal here is more so on the light rather than what we want to take. Okay, so right now, don't worry about taking any of the burdens with you. We just simply want to make this leap. We want to get through the portal, right? So we're follow the light. Okay, spirit's funny like that. Okay, so with this moon launch here, we also have 1 7 and 5 2 equals 7, so that could be significant. I'm seeing a lot of 8s. Okay, here we go. The farther gate, bold step forward, right? Huh. Spirit really is interesting. Okay, so this is like that cloud card. All right, everything is like chaotic down here. There's the light coming from above. The bold step forward is getting through this gate, and we had that empty keyhole with the house. Okay, so it's like spirit is giving you the key or simply giving you wings to stop worrying about this lower world stuff and just fly up here. Boom. The bold step forward. We want you to take the step towards where it is that you're called to be, that Ace of Pentacles energy. Okay, because looky here. Netcaster preparations come to fruition. You've already been preparing for this. You've already been in the knowing of what all of these things are that you are manifesting, that you are going towards. And Spirit says, you know, the time is now, actually. There could be a part of you that feels like, okay, you need to do all of this work before you go. And Spirit's like, no, the time has already come. You are already qualified and ready to rock and roll. Okay, let's see what we have here. We'll just keep going around the spiral. Please do like the video. I appreciate you guys so much because we are small and growing. All right. I have been reading cards for a long time though. A lot of these decks have been with me many, many years. So, wow. Wow. Leo, is that not exactly what I was explaining? Holy crap. That's insane. I mean, that's your story right there. See if I can get a good picture of this for the cover photo. This one, post it. You're getting above the labyrinth to get out of this unmarked trail and through the clouds to soar into the divine light. I mean, wow. Okay, so I'm hearing some of you be like, how? But how do I do that? How do I do that? Let's see. What do we have to say about that? What is it that we're being called to do here? What did we learn we need to do? Magic prayer. That's that spirit lodge over there, the moon lodge. See all of that lightning, and the lightning was what was in our way for a long time. And now we're transmuting that. We're transmuting it into something we can use for growth. Okay, we've got to clean out all the stuff that we don't need anymore. Yeah. It's not about taking parts of this situation with you to ensure that you've learned your lesson. Spirit says, I assure you, you have definitely learned your lesson. There's no need for you to try and pick up these pieces. We want you to like find out the new parts of yourself, okay? It's like you're not going to forget who you are as you move through this doorway, through this portal into this next stage of your life. It's kind of like jump in with both feet. Wow. Yeah, because that fear is going to hold you back. You have to be so careful of that fear here. That's what we're letting go of is this. I'm going to put these together here. I really want this one over here. Okay, forgive me for moving cars. That's just the way it goes. Coming to life. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There you are rising above again. And it's like if you felt like a statue and unable to move because of this rock bottom energy, all of that is going away. You just have to like allow spirit to be a driving force in your life. Like allow spirit to guide you completely here. Wow. Because you're climbing mountains. I mean, wow. You need to take stock of your achievements of how far you've come and the fact that you have reached a pinnacle here. Another 4-2. We've been seeing a lot of 4-2s. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, just look at this. The similarities here is just wild that they end up together. I mean, the arms are outstretched. We are going through this sort of portal. Yeah, 4-2-4-2. So 6-9-6. I was also being called to that with this 3-6-3-6, which adds up to 9. So 3-6-9, like Nikola Tesla, like you're tapping into some magic here. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you may feel as though there's a part of you that wants to have this sort of encouragement. Again, I'm being called back to like, this is that 6 of Cups, where it's like you want to be in a dynamic where you share these beautiful days with someone. And there's nothing wrong with that. But, there's that home card. Came right back out right as I was talking about that. I know that that's something that you want. Whoa, I just hit you. I bumped. Okay, anyways. But it's not worth this spark of light, okay? This is the spark that grows trees and flowers. You see this? The difference here? Melancholy energy, looking down, feeling like you're not enough, and the spark of life that says, let's just enjoy this day. That is the difference here. Like, that's what I'm getting. You you have to change the way that you see. It's like changing the way that you see yourself, but also changing the way that you trust people, things like that. Okay. What do we have here? Liberation, free yourself was on the table. Look at that. And it's like, that's interesting that it's a bird. I know it's like an ostrich or an emu or something, but it's like, if you don't open your arms and allow yourself to feel this freedom that's overwhelmingly apparent in your reading here, you're going to feel strangled by the want of it. Does that make sense? And look at that. Let love grow. But it's an interesting dynamic. You see how this person is a flower person, which is odd, but also like there's a skull here and she's very much human and she's trying to like hold on to this person, but I don't like it. Sorry. I'm sorry, but I don't like it. Oh gosh, what else do we have? Embrace oneness with the universe. Yeah. We need you to be solid here within yourself and trusting that the universe has your back and is going to lead you to victory here. Everything in perfect balance. There's that bird in her chest. I'm telling you. If you don't go for the gold on this, it's just going to drive you crazy. And it's within your own personal balance that you find the courage to take flight in this direction. Okay, so what do we have from the spirit team here? Transform the way you see. I just said that. Yeah. Yeah, if you put blinders on, I mean, you see the difference. Covering up the eye or magnifying the eye. It's like spirit's giving you a special type of glasses and they're in front of you, but you haven't picked them up yet. Okay, spirit thinks they're really funny when I say pick things up, and they're like, okay, you can pick up all of these. You're welcome. But what fell out here was this one, feeling loved and proud. So we see here that there's a bird here, and she's holding it with this really beautiful, almost like nesting material, but it's not trapped. You see, it's light and it's protecting. So being loved and proud, that's what this is, I think, is feeling proud of yourself, okay? That's definitely where we want you going with this energy. The other one that fell out here, make peace with your past. Yeah, allowing that past to sort of burn away, okay? And not trying to hold on to things that are just going to burn you up inside if they stay there, okay? So we're releasing that. Feeling proud of ourselves is where spirit wants you. And this is what ended up on the bottom here. The key is within your grasp. That's one thing that we did not see in this reading was the key, but we did see the keyhole. And I think it's because we've been like knocking on our door in order to get out of somewhere, but we would remain on the ground if we did that. See, this is almost like a high-story building. We're not on the ground, okay? So we can't go through a gate because that would mean we're on the sidewalk. We're not on the sidewalk, we're 10 stories up. That's what Spirit wants you to understand is you're not as far down as you think you are. You're farther on your path, okay? So bursting through that at the opportune moment to grab that key. And yes, we get a little cut up here as we burst through that glass. That's where you are now. You have to change a perspective to take a leap that feels very scary, especially feeling as though you think you're at rock bottom. You're not. Okay, Spirit wants you to take stock of your achievement. Understand from this bird's eye view, you've made it a lot farther than you think. And all of this focus that we have here for you, transform the way that you see where you are now. And you do that by getting into this sort of still moment and listen to that still small voice, if you will. And then the key becomes very apparent. The key is like the idea of the next step of what comes next here. Okay, all of that becomes very apparent in this moment of stillness. So let's get some animals here. All right, what animals are helping us along the way here? Victory. Holy crap. Look at that. I am telling you what, that Six of Wands you got twice, and now look at this all over this reading too. You're you're going for it. And the boars are also about confrontation. Like, don't be afraid to tell people exactly where the bear takes their excrement, okay, in the woods. Holy crap. I just said the bear, and there's the bear. Holy cow. And we've seen, oh my gosh, that's insane. Yeah, rest and rebirth. I'm telling you, as soon as you like allow yourself to have like a journaling experience, a bubble bath, a meditation, there's something about this rest that as soon as you get done with it, you have the courage to consume. And I like this consume card right here. It's again, it's winning at all costs, right? Like they pick up the pieces. They are carnivores, but they're scavengers. Okay, so they pick the bones clean. And the lions are the ones doing the killing. So it's like, and also, is that your sign? I need to get better at recognizing, but yeah, it has to be because you're the lion. I think that's you, right? Right? Like you're here with me. Tell me. Okay, so anyways, yes, you have the courage to kill and you also have the courage to pick up pieces here. You're dynamic in that way. And that's part of your superpower here. cleaning up the mess, but also having the courage to continue on, even when you don't feel like you want to. And Spirit is gifting you with the key. I'm telling you, this grand mystery, this secret of life. And the secret is to focus on God, source, spirit, and change your perspective with another bird there. Okay, what else do we have here for Leo? Hunt. Setting your sights exactly on where you're going and not taking no for an answer. Look at that. The center of the focus is the center of the eye. You're intently focused on where you're going. You've just been focusing on the ground and not the sky. So focus upwards towards your spirit team and also set your goals high as well. Okay, don't think small at this time. All right, we've got grow here, and the lizards are also about the dream time, right? The vision quests, things like that. So be very cautious here, focusing on what's not working, focusing on the pieces that are left on the floor. We don't want to act from a place of fear. Okay, one more here. Confidence. Look at that. Confidence and care. Literally, it's like when you start focusing and stillness, mystery, and adaptation. I mean, seriously. Okay. How far do I want to take it? We'll just let it talk here. Okay, so as soon as you focus on empowering yourself, giving yourself that respectful time that is just for you, so that you can focus on how you portray yourself and how you portray yourself to the world. Okay, as soon as you do this part and you're taking care of yourself with self-care, Moon Lodge vibes, which gets you into a state of stillness and reflection, that is when Spirit gives you this key or this mirror here. You realize that when you look in the mirror, you're seeing God, Source, Spirit reflected back to you. And it's the gift of adaptation. It's the gift of camouflage. It's the gift of going through without a hitch. Okay, that's what I'm getting with the drum and this coming to life that we see up here. The secret to getting this victory is, yes, being willing to win at all costs, but also being willing to burn away the past and then adapting. And that's what I'm getting with the soul revival retrieval as well. Like, we're adapting to a new way of being where we are a teammate with the universe here. Yeah, to make it more fun. We've been tapping into this a lot on this channel, having more fun when it comes to manifesting. It should be fun. You should feel as though you're soaring and flying. And the issue is we have to put an end to something that we were collaborating with, some sort of collaboration with another person, and focus that energy on our intuition. Trust our intuition, trust our guides, but we have to burn this past to the ground in order to do it, which really sounds scary, but I don't feel like it is. Yeah, it sounds scary because it's a metamorphosis, because we're in the middle of a pupa stage. But even in that pupa, when we're in that stillness, when we're in that self-care, sacred space, putting boundaries up, that's all this is a boundary, the pupa, right? That's where we take stock of our achievements. We understand how far we've come. We get a different perspective. We start having more fun. We're able to connect to our sources, our spirit team, transform the way that we see, and come all the way back around to do it all over again, because this is a spiral. Okay? The work is not necessarily done. And it never is. But I feel like this card here sums up your reading. We're in the spiral, which can be translated as a labyrinth, right? And the whole goal is to get up above that confusion, up out of that confusion, and realize that you've had wings the whole time. Okay, Leo, I hope this has come full circle for you. Please check your other placements. I will be posting regularly here. You and all the other zodiac signs will get a reading a month if all goes well. So check out that description box on ways that you can support me, and I hope to see you guys on the next one. Bye.